What's happening, y'all? SconzE here. We're heading into the City of Water, Water 7. I think, we played a Sanji last time. I think we'll play a Zoro. We'll play a Zoro for this one. Let's see, is anything? Nah, nothing we can upgrade him with. Can we... Alright, can only get him to level 41, but that's okay. It's better than nothing. And then costume... Yeah, we'll keep him canon. He's got the scar across his chest. Alrighty. Obviously, Usopp is not going to be with us for this journey. Well, neither is Robin, too, because of... Well, she was captured by CP9. But... Usopp... He did a certain questionable thing. He chose... Alright, cutscene blocked me off. He did a questionable thing. He chose the ship over his crew. Which, pretty messed up, you know? I gotta say, it's pretty messed up of Usopp. I don't, Zoro, remember Zoro was all like, Usopp can't come back to the crew, like, he's made his decision, and a pirate captain's gotta be firm. Like, Zoro was like, Zoro knew what was up. I mean, you can forgive, but Usopp definitely fucked up big time with that shit, in my opinion. You know, it's interesting to think about, like, I don't think Zoro knows what Sanji did in Whole Cake. It'd be interesting to see his reaction about that. Because with how he reacted about, like, with Usopp earlier, like, now they're even on a more serious level, post-time skip. And, well, I think Zoro would, probably have some words for Sanji. Most likely, they get into a fight over nothing, so I could see them easily get into a fight over that. I forgot about that. If you press R1, you have that little move. Doesn't really do much. I gotta test that out with Sanji and Luffy next time we're playing as them. That doesn't look like a worker. That doesn't look like one of Iceberg's men. I guess they mean worker as like worker for... Actually, wait, who would these workers be? They're all pirates. Wait, where would these guys even come from? We're supposed to be fighting like CP9 and Water 7. I mean, I guess you could say this is like Frankie family people. Kind of crazy to think that like Frankie had his whole crew and he just dips and joins the Straw Hats. Dude, where's Paulie? Paulie in this? Paulie! Paulie was cool. He was dope. Chopper following Robin sent has begun. Searching. Alright, I guess, let's go hang out over by Chopper. So that way he doesn't get slowed down. Alright, well, thanks for grabbing me, guy. Water 7, I gotta say, this might get some hate. I'm just full of controversial opinions with One Piece. But Water 7, it's good. It's good. But I think it's overrated. I gotta say, I do think it's overrated. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, Water 7's so awesome, Water 7. But you know what it is? I think it's more of like, I think people are just correlating it too much with Enies Lobby. Because, like, Water 7 and Enies Lobby are separate arcs. They're in, like, the same, little period of time. Like, Water 7 goes into Enies Lobby. But they're two separate arcs. That's why Water 7 is called Water 7, and Enies Lobby is called Enies Lobby. They're two separate things. If they're the same thing, they'd have the same name, but they're not. But I feel like Water 7 is like, it's cool, but there's not too much that goes on. Enies Lobby, however, Enies Lobby's awesome. That was a great arc. It was so full of action and moments. Like, it was very iconic, very memorable. But Water 7 is just, oh shit, Robin left us and got captured. And then we gotta, and then, oh, Lucci's here. And he blew us into a chimney. Whippy, you know, and it's like, okay. Like, there's no real action or anything that happens. The most action they actually get is probably with Frankie. But that is one good thing about Water 7. Gives us Frankie. My favorite Straw Hat. My favorite Straw Hat pre-time skip. Post-time skip, I don't know. I feel like I don't even really have a favorite Straw Hat post-time skip. I feel like I just like whoever within the arc is, like, having good moments and shit. Because post-time skip, I feel like these characters, a lot of the characters lose their personality and uniqueness. They just become, they all become like a one-trick pony in a way. Where they were more grounded pre-time skip, I feel like. Because it's like they had their quirks. I mentioned this before, like pre-time skip, like all the Straw Hats had their quirks, but they were still like people. They were still like, you know, like grounded. I don't know. I guess I don't know. I don't know how else to put it. But then post-time skip, they just become like a product of their gag, and that's like all that, like, I feel like happens. They become too quirky, maybe, in a way. I don't know. It's just not the same. It's not the same, the characters. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Water 7 though. It's good. Ennis Lobby is really what I think people like, and just correlate it with Water 7. Because what really happens in what... I mean, it's not that stuff doesn't happen. Important stuff happens in Water 7. But I feel like there's a lot of downtime. I feel like Water 7 just has a lot of downtime. That's what, like, oh my gosh, the beginning of Wano... Oh my goodness. The beginning of Wano is nothing but downtime. It's just, it's like... I wish that you, like, they just got straight to Onigashima. And then even Onigashima, that was dragged on way to Wano. I know I'm full of controversial opinions on One Piece, but like, damn, fucking Wano was just like not it. I know people like Wano, but there's so much just random stuff that's just not important in Wano, and I just wish we could skip over all that and just like you could cut out half of Wano and nothing would change really. There's so much extra stuff that's not important that goes on. And then you can just shorten stuff too. There's so much repeats. Like I remember even I couldn't believe it. I remember when Luffy goes Gear 5 for the first time in Wano. This blew my mind. If you watch that episode, maybe you know what I'm talking about. But when they had the animation of him going Gear 5 for the first time, and they reused the animation, like, I think it was like 4 times. Like, literally the same scene. Like, full scene. It's not like a clip. Like, just a full scene was reused over and over. Like, towards that, and I was like, no way. I was like, they couldn't do anything else? I was like, how cheap is One Piece getting? I remember a lot of people did comment on that, like, online. They were saying, like, what the hell is this? I love, this is the One Piece bashing. The One Piece bashing series. Like, I love One Piece. But I'm just venting complaints and stuff on it. But, you know, that's how you know you love a series, when you still give it a 10 out of 10. It's one of your favorites, despite all the nonsense that goes on. Alright, Chopper, you wanna, like, move, dude? What's happening here? Robin's over there. Okay, let's go! I'm trying to think. One Piece kind of goes back and forth on my, like, favorite anime list. Because I always say this. not to be complaining with One Piece, but like pre-time skip is so much better than post-time skip. So like if we were going pre-time skip One Piece, that might be, I'd put it at probably my number 3. And you might be thinking, what could be above One Piece? Well, Dragon Ball is my favorite. Number 1. And not, it's like, oh, Dragon Ball is so mainstream. Oh, it's Dragon Ball fanboy. When it comes to like my favorite, I'm not like saying like, oh, Dragon Ball is a better story than One Piece and blah blah. That like, I go favorites by like enjoyment. And Dragon Ball is just near and dear to my heart. Like Dragon Ball, I love all the characters. Dragon Ball has like no characters that I dislike. Well, at least for Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Super, there's definitely some characters I don't give a shit about. But like the Dragon Ball is a franchise, and that's another thing. I go by franchises for favorites rather than like specific like series or like, you know, seasons and stuff, which I'll get to more in a second as I talk about my second favorite anime. But like Dragon Ball, the fights are just awesome. I feel like One Piece does this too, but Dragon Ball, like for Dragon Ball fans, there's so many moments that just put so much emotion, you know, like fills you up with and shit. Like, dude, oh man, it hits me, like some of these scenes with like dude, Bardock with Frieza, when he's just like, you know, it's over, Frieza, we don't work for you anymore, we quit, like, you know, fuck you, dude, like, you know, this is for all the people we've killed in your name. And he's like, having, like, throws the thing. And then Frieza just laughs at him, does his bomb, and Bardock's like, oh shit, no way. And they're like, oh, like, it's just like crazy moments like that. It's like, they're just so impactful. And, especially like the movies have great scenes. Like, dude, when, man, especially with the music, one of my favorite Dragon Ball moments is the Cooler movie, when all of a sudden, like, Goku, like, looks up from the smoke, sees Cooler in the sky with a supernova, and he's like, sleeping on the job, Super Saiyan. He's like, what? And then he's got this fucking supernova in the air, and you just hear the metal music for, like, the English release, and it's like, and Goku's like, oh, shit, and then fucking throws it down, and Goku catches that shit, and he's fighting it back, and he's just like, and then he, like, pushes it back, does the Kamehameha, like, oh man, it's just like so intense, and the Cooler's like, what the hell, and then he just blasts it into the sun, and with the music, it's so goated. And then fucking Broly transforming to Tens by Panta, it's like, oh my gosh, and then he fucking awakens as the legendary Super Saiyan, he's like, Kakarot, you will be the first of my victims, and like, oh man, Dragon Ball just has so many iconic scenes that are really just so much impact, so good. Characters are really intense, great. And then the games, man. The games, that's another big part of it. And you say like, oh, what do the games have to do with the anime? It's like, well, the anime spawns the games. And Dragon Ball has the best fucking games of any anime. Let's face it, it does. No anime has better games than Dragon Ball. It's like in a league of its own. So one of the main reasons why kids love Dragon Ball so much is because the fucking games are so fun and fantastic. So that plays into why it's a favorite franchise too, is because all the memories of watching the show, playing the games as a kid, you know, it's like it all ties in together. It all ties in. I was gonna say with Broly, the original dub Broly, so much better. It's Vic Mignogna. He's fantastic. He's great. Dude, you guys should follow his Instagram, man. He does, I forget what he calls them, but like he does like daily, like gospel readings talking about like God and stuff, and it's a beautiful thing, really. He's such a beautiful soul, beautiful spirit, that guy. And he got screwed. He got screwed by Sean Schimmel and the fucking voice actor for Bulma, whatever her name is. I mean, I'm not gonna get too harsh about them, but like they're assholes, you know. They screwed him, and everyone all says the same thing. Like, you know, the new Broly voice actor, the guy who does the dub for Ichigo, what is it, like, he's good. He does a good job, but it's just not the same. And so many people are like, oh, it's just angry Ichigo. It just sounds like angry Ichigo. Where the original Broly was so menacing. The way he talked, because he talked like so evil and fierce while being like, it was like a calm rage almost. Like he would have his moments where he like lashes out and he's like, Kakura, like, you know. But when he's just talking casually, it's just like, it's just so intense while like sounding like calm at the same time. It was very unique and it was cool. It's not the same, and so it's upsetting playing Dragon Ball Sparking Zero in dub and Broly just not being as iconic. What's happening? Nami's about to retreat. Oh, okay. I guess I'll go help you, Nami. I'm coming, Nami. Hold on. Hold on. Where are you? Okay, so we gotta break into Iceberg Lounge. How do we do that? What do we gotta get Nami over there? Oh, I'm doing in front of the mansion. I'm thinking I have to just clear that area and we can break in. Because I wasn't paying attention at all. I was just in the middle of, you know, talking about stuff. So, you know, I just got a little distracted there. You know, I think it'll help Nami move if we clear out all these guys. So let's do this actually, clear this area. But my second favorite anime after Dragon Ball is the Gundam franchise. I love Gundam so much. Great story. I love the Universal Century. Gundam has so many different animes. It's crazy because you have the UC Gundam where you have, and I've watched them all, man. You got Gundam, then Zeta, then Double Zeta, goes into Char's Counterattack, then into Unicorn, then to F91, Victory Gundam, but we don't talk about Victory Gundam. That was disgusting. That was an atrocious series. It was really bad. And then the UC's got all the side ones where like Gundam 8th MS Team, Gundam Stardust Memory, War in the Pocket. Oh, War in the Pockets. That one tugs on the old heartstrings. That one, tragic story. That's what makes Gundam so great, is Gundam, the whole thing about Gundam, it's all about war and love. And what's better no way I just jumped down. Oh, I gotta get back around now. But what makes for better stories than war and love? You get emotion and action all together, and tragedy. Tragedy makes for such good stories. And then the other Gundam stuff is great too, besides the Universal Century. Like Gundam Seed is great, Gundam Wing is great. Nami, can you hang on here for a sec with Chopper? I gotta go fucking help Luffy. Dumb butt, for some reason is not with us, and seems like he's about to croak. What's up, Luffy? You doing alright? Oh, I just got a trophy. I'll be your legendary hero. Use hero power 100 times. Oh. Okay. Still earning trophies on Fire Warriors 3. Interesting. What other series are there? Oh, you have... I think was it called Gundam Age? Yeah, I think it was called Gundam Age, and that's got the, where they use the age system. And then that one, Gundam Age was really good. I was expecting not to like it. I felt like I wasn't gonna really like it. I wound up loving it. However, my biggest problem with that is it's too short, actually. It's like 40-something episode series, which for some people is well, not very long, but for some people that's long. You know, people who watch just like, oh, I just watched Demon Slayer, it's like 12 episodes a season, or 20 episodes, whatever. Or I just watched this anime, it's 20 episodes. So 40-something episodes is long, but I think it was like 47 episodes, I think. Possibly low 50s. But it's actually too short, because that series covers 3 generations of, and it's not even series, that season, or that show, that Gundam, yeah, I guess Gundam series, whatever, Gundam Age, it shows one character, then it shows that character's kid, and then you go through their story, and then you go through their kids. So it goes through 3 generations, and it's all connected. It's not just like, oh, it's like 3 separate stories. Like, no, it's all connected into one, you know, big story. All the characters are together at the same time. You know, like the son, dad, grandfather, whatever. But the thing is, though, is because it's covering 3 generations within like 40, 50-something episodes, there's not enough time to explore each character. Because all of a sudden, I feel like we're really getting to know the first one, we're really getting with him, and then it's like, oh, okay, now all of a sudden it jumps and we're onto his son? I was like, okay. And then as soon as you're getting to know that character, it's like, oh, now it jumps to his son. And then it's like, alright, and now the story's like wrapped up. It's like, I feel like you do get to know the characters, but you don't get to know them enough. And also, what the fuck is happening? Why? There's no Robin is discovered. Okay, what am I supposed to be doing? There's no story happening. It doesn't say go here, do this. We were supposed to come here. Alright, whatever. I guess we'll go back this way? Maybe? Maybe something will happen? Give it a try. But yeah, Gundam's great. Oh, Mobile Fighter G Gundam. Dude, Mobile Fighter G Gundam is just like Dragon Ball with... Oh, okay, we can go inside now. I don't know why we had to go that way to get inside. We should have just been able to open up from here. I'm assuming I beat this guy and then the door opens. But Mobile Fighter G Gundam, that... Oh, man. That series, one of my all-time favorites. So good. Oh, we're fighting Blue now? Okay. I mean, really, I don't remember them even fighting in here. Wasn't it just like a one and done type thing where they were like, oh, let's fight, and then like they just blast them away, and then there's like the whole storm and hurricane happening. Sorry, Blue Elf, but I stocked up on ults. I guess we'll do it with SconzE too, since you're still kicking Bluno. If I were you, I might want to use my door fruit to escape. But yeah, so Dragon Ball, Gundam, my 2 favorites. And then I'd go One Piece. But sometimes, back and forth, depends. Sometimes I'm in a mood for something else, and sometimes I put Fairy Tail at number 3. And Fairy Tail, I know, some people think Fairy Tail's a little overrated and it's not that good. Yes, that's true. Fairy Tail, I grew up, however, with, watched that shit semi-new, like back when I was in like middle school and stuff. And I love the world of Fairy Tail. I love the world of One Piece. But like, Fairy Tail, I think the whole magic thing is cool. I think they have a lot of cool characters. The world building is nice in that as well. One Piece does a better job than Fairy Tail. However, there's a lot of times where I find myself feeling Fairy Tail has just more charm to it than One Piece. Because there's like... Even because in Fairy Tail, here's the thing with Fairy Tail, is like when in One Piece, when nothing's happening, it feels like it drags and it's kind of annoying. The pacing is annoying. And then just becomes like annoying to watch, whatever. Fairy Tail, even when nothing's happening, it's very charming. You get a lot of comedic moments. It's very funny. The characters are very likable. So even when nothing's happening, you're still having a good time watching. So I could go back or forth between whether Fairy Tail or One Piece is my favorite. Because like my favorite anime character of all time is Ace. But Ace is, you know, he's not a main character. He's a side character, technically. And I could say the same thing for Fairy Tail. My second favorite anime character of all time... Actually, well, I don't know. Maybe second I would go Char Aznable. I always go back and forth between Char from Gundam and then Gajeel. Gajeel from Fairy Tail. Oh, I'm such a Gajeel fan. I love that dude. He's so cool. But we get to see him a lot in comparison to, like, you know, how much you see Ace. And then Char. Char's a He's a big main character for, well, Gundam, and then you have Char's counterattack. And then Zeta Gundam. Oh, man, Char and Zeta Gundam is just the coolest. When, fighting Haman and, what's his name? Sergio, whatever, at the same time. In the Hayukishiki, oh, that was a great fight. Or a great moment. It's less of a fight and more of like a action sequence, I guess. I don't know. Let's see, what are we on time? We're probably wrapping this up, right? Yeah, 25 minutes. Alright, so next episode, fight CP9. Then we do the Fist of Love, and then we get on to Adventure on Ghost Island. We're going to Thriller Bark, yay! But One Piece I do love. It's in top 5 without a doubt, but I don't know. I'm sure people could relate. Like, Dragon Ball and Gundam are always my top 2, but then there's other stuff I really like. Like, I gotta say, I'm a big fan of Sailor Moon. Do like Sailor Moon a lot. I grew up with that too. And I'm a big fan of like slice of life stuff, and that's why I like Sailor Moon the most. It's not because of the action, but because of the comedy in Sailor Moon. This whole slice of life part of it, of them just being like in school, dealing with drama, whatever. So it's very funny. The characters, very funny. They just like make fun of each other, go through silly moments. What else is it? And then there's Kenichi, History's Strongest Disciple. Oh man, that's one of my all-time favorites too, because of, well, one, because I grew up with that, and that one is just genuinely really, really good. It really needed to continue. It's such a shame it didn't. I feel like that anime would continue now, if it was airing now, compared to like back then, because back then anime wasn't as mainstream in America as it is now. But yeah, there's a lot of things I go back and forth with. So I was going to say, I'm sure people can relate when it comes to favorites. Is like, sometimes it's like, oh, I'm feeling this as in my top 5. And then it's like, actually, saw some clips on YouTube of this other show I like. Or you saw, like, I don't know, something on TikTok. And then it's like, oh, you know what? I really do like the aesthetic. Oh, I really do like that story, blah, blah, blah. Maybe that's one of my favorites. But yeah, it jumps around, So, whatever. Alright, peace out, guys. Let me know, what's your top 3? What's your top 3 favorite anime? I'm curious. I'll see you guys. Bye-bye.